Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the Formula One drama. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has weighed in on the new additional design and upgrade opportunities, or ADUO, and he is making some serious statements about what this system really means for the championship and the competitive landscape.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we look at the delicate balance of the 2026 F1 rule changes, where Mercedes boss Toto Wolff called on the rule makers to work with a scalpel, not a baseball bat, as they debate adjustments to energy management and power deployment. Then we shift focus to the new contenders. We break down the debut season state of play for Cadillac, examining how Graham Loudon is steering the new team through reliability challenges and the crucial role of the Ferrari engines. And finally, the big reveal. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem issues a statement confirming a host of crucial refinements to the 2026 F1 rules, including changes to energy management and safety systems, all set to take effect starting in Miami. The FIA has introduced the additional design and upgrade opportunities, or ADUO, within the current Formula One power unit regulations as a safety measure to prevent a recurrence of issues seen in 2014. The system is designed to provide an additional upgrade opportunity for manufacturers whose internal combustion engines are underperforming relative to the grid leaders. Specifically, manufacturers with a performance deficit between 2% and 4% on the best ICE are granted one upgrade, while those with a deficit exceeding 4% may receive 2 updates. The implementation of ADUO has sparked significant discussion among the FIA, teams, and engine manufacturers during the recent April break, compounded by the postponement of 2 Middle Eastern races. A key point of contention is determining which parties would qualify for these advantages. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has publicly emphasized the need for complete transparency and precision from the FIA regarding the allocation of these opportunities. Wolff stated that the original principle of ADUO was to enable struggling teams to catch up, not to allow them to leapfrog competitors. He stressed that any decision regarding an ADUO must be executed with absolute clarity and precision, warning against gamesmanship, and ensuring the system serves its intended purpose. Wolff suggested that the primary beneficiary of ADUO should be manufacturers facing genuine difficulties, pointing to Honda as a current example. He indicated that while teams will naturally have their own performance assessments, he believes only one engine manufacturer currently fits the description of needing assistance, suggesting others are relatively close in performance. Attention is now focused on Ferrari, alongside McLaren, as they have emerged as the closest challengers to Mercedes. Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur has viewed the ADUO as a crucial opportunity to close the performance gap, stating it would be a chance to gain further advantage on the engine side. However, the justification for granting ADUO to Ferrari is complicated by strategic factors, such as the use of a smaller turbocharger, which might impact overall power output. Wolff acknowledged these considerations, but reiterated his focus on the intended function of the system, emphasizing that ADUO must remain a catch-up mechanism and not a tool for gaining immediate competitive advantage. He expressed confidence that the FIA is monitoring data and hopes they will uphold the integrity of the sport by ensuring ADUO decisions do not disrupt the established competitive hierarchy. A high-level gathering of Formula One stakeholders has ratified subtle changes to the 2026 regulations, signaling a measured approach to evolving the sport amid fan discontent. While segments of the fan base remain critical of current formats, such as qualifying procedures and race dynamics influenced by battery charge, the changes are expected to be targeted rather than sweeping. discussions have heavily focused on electrical deployment, exploring adjustments like reducing the recharge limit per lap to as low as 6 mJ, increasing the super clipping rate from 250 kW to 350 kW, and modifying straight-line mode aerodynamics. Toto Wolff, Mercedes' boss, emphasized this cautious strategy in a recent interview, urging rule makers to work with a scalpel, not a baseball bat, when adjusting the technical framework. The consensus among F1, the FIA, and competitors prior to the season suggested that data from opening races would inform any tweaks. However, shifts in opinion followed an accident at Suzuka, suggesting a need to learn from past, erratic decision-making. Wolff stated, "We need to learn from the past, where sometimes decisions were made in an erratic way, and then we overshot and realized it wasn't good." Despite the collaborative tone, underlying tensions persist regarding competitive advantage. The text notes that competitors are rarely without concerns about maintaining their edge, citing past struggles to resolve issues like turbo lag. This dynamic reflects a broader trend where, as the sport becomes wealthier, fierce competitors may be hesitant to concede advantages. This mirrors historical governance issues, such as the former strategy group, which was dismantled under new agreements, highlighting the ongoing tension between collective sporting health and individual team interests. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem acknowledged the responsibility of all parties to act as guardians of the sport, stressing that internal discussions should occur among stakeholders rather than in the public eye. He affirmed a commitment to improving safety and the racing product based on data, while also acknowledging the nostalgia for past eras, such as the 2000s, where certain characteristics were valued. The overall sentiment is one of careful optimism, aiming to evolve the sport while safeguarding the core spectacle. Cadillac's debut season in Formula One has shown early signs of resilience despite the inherent challenges of launching a brand new team into the highly competitive grid. Entering as the 11th team in 2026, the American squad, helmed by experienced figure Graham Loden, has focused on establishing a reliable foundation rather than immediate point contention. After 3 rounds of the season, the team's performance is assessed as quite positive, particularly concerning reliability. While lacking the extensive data pool of established rivals, Cadillac has managed to secure a decent testing haul in Bahrain and has benefited significantly from running Ferrari engines, which have proven reasonably dependable, allowing Sergio Perez to complete every race thus far. However, the early season has also presented setbacks. Valtteri Bottas experienced retirements due to fuel system issues in Australia and reliability problems during the Shanghai Sprint. Furthermore, the team was involved in a significant incident in the China Grand Prix where Perez and Bottas collided, which the stewards ruled a racing incident. Despite these challenges, Bottas secured a P13 finish, suggesting underlying potential. Reliability remains a key strength, with Perez finishing on the lead lap in Japan, marking an improvement from Australia where he was 3 laps down. Qualifying performance has also seen modest gains, with Perez showing improved pace compared to Aston Martin in Australia and outperforming both green cars at Suzuka. Looking ahead, the team is keenly aware of its data deficit compared to rivals, which could hinder rapid problem-solving. The crucial next steps for Cadillac involve maximizing the data gathered from the Ferrari power units to optimize performance, especially off the line. With 2 experienced drivers committed to prioritizing the team's success, optimism is high. Loden expressed pride in the execution and reliability improvements, confirming the team will introduce its first upgrade package in Miami. While Cadillac is making progress, bridging the gap to the midfield battles with teams like Aston Martin and Williams remains a significant hurdle. Success will depend on a combination of sustained reliability, further pace refinement through chassis development, and a degree of fortune in navigating the inevitable chaos of a full racing season. The Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, FIA, has announced a series of significant refinements to the 2026 Formula One World Championship regulations ahead of the season's resumption in Miami next month. The changes were finalized following a productive meeting involving the FIA, team principals, CEOs of power unit manufacturers, and Formula One management. These adjustments stem from consultations over several weeks, utilizing data gathered from the first 3 races of the 2026 season, and were aimed at addressing concerns raised by the new rules, particularly following Oliver Bearman's accident at the Japanese Grand Prix, which highlighted safety issues related to increased closing speeds. The key changes, set to be implemented starting from the Miami Grand Prix on May 3rd, focus on optimizing performance, enhancing safety, and improving reliability. Qualifying adjustments include modifications to energy management parameters, reducing the maximum permitted recharge from 8 mJ to 7 mJ to encourage more consistent driving. Furthermore, the maximum superclip duration per lap has been reduced to approximately 2 to 4 seconds, and the peak superclip power has been increased from 250 kW to 350 kW. The number of races allowing alternative lower energy limits has also been increased from 8 to 12 to better suit circuit characteristics. For race conditions, safety and performance have been balanced by capping the maximum power available through the boost at plus 150 kW to limit sudden performance gaps. MGUK deployment remains at 350 kW in critical acceleration zones, but is limited to 250 kW elsewhere to mitigate excessive closing speeds. Enhanced safety mechanisms for race starts include a new low-power start detection system that automatically triggers MGUK deployment to ensure minimum acceleration if a car exhibits abnormally low acceleration post-clutch release. A visual warning system with flashing lights is also being introduced for affected drivers, alongside a reset of the energy counter at the start of the formation lap. In wet conditions, safety and visibility are prioritized through increased tire blanket temperatures for intermediate tires to boost initial grip, a reduction in maximum ERS deployment to improve control in low-grip scenarios, and simplified rear light systems for clearer visual cues. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem praised the collaborative effort across the entire Formula One ecosystem, emphasizing that safety and sporting fairness remain the highest priorities. He stated that these changes were introduced to address issues identified in the opening events and ensure the continued integrity of the competition, looking forward to an exciting 2026 season.